Hi, everybody. Happy to have you here tonight. I'm so excited to show you my next online class to go. Do you have cat people in your life? Even if you don't love cats, you want to do nice things for the people who do, right? So I have some adorable cards to show you tonight using the Love Cats stamp set from the new Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. So come and watch for a little bit and see if you like the cards that I make for all your cat friends or maybe for yourself. I am a cat person. I love my cat. My cat has lived longer than any cat in the universe, I think. My cat is 22 years old. And I just love her to death. Her name is Phoebe. We originally got Phoebe because we had a horrible rabbit problem in our yard. And hi, Roz, nice to have you here tonight. I had lots of Florida people watching me last week, so you must be a trendsetter for me in Florida. I love that you're so loyal about coming to watch every week. So anyway, I got Phoebe the cat. And I was just saying, Phoebe the cat is 22 years old. I don't think my husband ever thought we'd have a cat that lived that long. She's outlived 3 dogs that we've had in our family. And hi, Sue. Thanks for being here. Anyway, we bought her to help our rabbit problem, which she did tremendously when she was young. She was stellar. She could jump in the air and catch birds out of the sky, and she took care of our rabbit problem in our yard. Let's just say that, because they were eating all my plants and everything. It was so bad. So anyway, we got Phoebe the cat from a local farm, and she's been in our lives for 22 years. So I am definitely a cat lover. So tonight, for my online class to go, we are going to be doing the Love Cats stamp set. And I think I have some really cute and different cards to show you for that tonight. Before we move on to that, I promise I'll just take a few minutes to talk about some upcoming things that I have going on in my Tuttle Up world. The first one, though, is I want to tell Donna Schultz. Donna, if you're watching me tonight, I believe, Donna, you were from Illinois. If you would like to get this embellishment package from me, you were the winner of last week's commenters and watchers and sharers and likers. So Donna Schultz, if you will PM me and send me your address, I will get these embellishments in the mail to you. These are 2 new ones out of the mini catalog. This one is from the Desert Suite, and it's called Gold Faceted Adhesive Back Sequins, all different sizes, pretty cool. And then this one is called Adhesive Back Milky Dots, and it is part of the Regency Park Suite. So Donna Schultz, you won both of those packages of embellishments. PM me and I'll get my address to you, okay? So I'm going to bring the camera down and so that you can see my desk here. I hope that works for you, right like that. I'll double check it on my screen to make sure you can see what I am doing here. Let me refresh my computer, pop you all up. As you come on, I love it when you tell me where you're from and how you found me, okay? Last week's video had 1,200 watches. Isn't that amazing? Me in little Lincoln, Nebraska. So first of all, I have a celebration. It is a party that I have every year right after celebration is over. And it's a special party class that I throw for anyone who spends $100 with me cumulative during celebration. So if you spend $25 in January and $75 in February, you're in. If you spend $60 in January and $40 in February, you're in. Okay, so if your sale totals with me in my online store or through coming to one of my classes is $100. You get to come to the frog party. The frog party is going to be March the 11th. It's going to be at the Heartlands Church building. That's our family home church. And you will make 4 projects. We'll have a little party. I've already bought some prizes and some fun things that I think you're going to love. And we will be using the At the Pond stamp set that is a host-only stamp set in the back of the catalog. Now, as celebration continues, I am trying to accumulate as many of these as I can, and I will give them away to people who are coming to the At the Pond Frog Party on March the 11th. So, hi, Jenny. If you would like to be a part of that, all you have to do is spend $100 with me during January and February cumulative, and you will get a free invitation. Now, if you live out of town, you can still earn this. I will just send you the PDF and the card packets in the mail to you, okay? So, something to remember there. Next, let me take this off of this clipboard because I'm afraid you're not going to be able to see everything. I'm having a Valentine treats class. You'll make 4 3D items, and you'll also get the treats to put inside them. It is Wednesday, February the 8th from 6:30 to 8:30, or you can also get it to go. The class cost is $30 or free with a $35 purchase. I will put the registration link on my Tuttle Up Stamping Facebook page. But the best way to get information about this event is to be a part of my email newsletter. If you are not a part of my email newsletter and you would like to know about all my upcoming events and personal sales that I give my customers, just send me a PM and I will add you to my email list. And then you will have a direct link right to any of my classes, okay? And next, I just ordered, hi Monica, thanks for joining me. I have a birthday card extravaganza coming up. I don't know why the date didn't show up there, but it is Wednesday. Actually, it is Thursday, February the 16th at 6:30. Jeez, I don't know what happened with that. It is Thursday, February the 16th at 6:30. Okay? You will make 8 cards, 4 each, 2 each of 4 designs, and get the year started with some great birthday cards stored up for your upcoming birthdays. We'll be using 2 sets in the mini catalog. We will be using the Best Day stamp set. That's super cute with the cake and the candles, and also this adorable, another little cat in the cupcake. I love that fat cat in the cupcake. My cat is not fat. Jenny cannot say that, my friend Jenny. She has some fat cats. My cat only weighs 5 pounds right now, so she is tiny. We'll be using this stamp set that's called the Best Day. And then we'll also be using the Happy Labels Sentiments and Punch, okay? This class is $35 because we're making 8 cards, but you can get it free for a $40 purchase. And this you can get in person. In person is limited to 8 people at my house. You can get it to go, that you're going to need the Best Day and the Happy Labels stamp sets in order to complete your cards. Or you could use other sentiments, I suppose, if you wanted to. Or you can get a PDF only. So if you are a part of my email list, I will give you a direct link, but I'll also be sending up an event in my Tuttle Up Stamping Facebook page under events. It isn't set up yet because I just added that event this week, okay? He is very fluffy, 19 pounds. That's a lot bigger than 5, right, Jenny? All right, so first thing I want to tell you is that tonight's online class to go, you will make 6 cards. You'll get a kit of 6 cards, 2 each of the 3 designs I'm going to make with you tonight. If you spend $50, I'm going to throw in this adorable, look how cute, cat desk calendar. It says, I love hanging out with you. And it has, then you can just pull off the months as you go through them here. And this even says time to reorder. I get these from a company called Taylor Expressions. She sells these little mini calendars, and I will give you everything you need to make this little calendar if you spend $50. Okay, so let's get started. I want to tell you that tonight's cards, we are going to be using the Love Cat stamp set. We're going to be using a couple of different die sets. The Stylish Shapes, I use those almost every week. And the contour, scallop contour dies. These I use very often as well. And then I'm going to be using a Stamparatus. And most of the papers we're using tonight comes from the Country Lane Floral in the mini catalog, and also the Gingham, what's it called? Country Gingham, okay? Those are the two papers that we will be using tonight. This paper in the calendar comes from the Dandy Designs 12 by 12 paper pack that you can get free with Celebration. So if you spend $50, you can actually get the 48 sheet paper pack that I used to make this calendar, and the calendar, right? And a free Celebration item. So how cool is that? That is pretty awesome. Okay, so I think Lucy Bird, my granddaughter, might be watching tonight, and I'm making my first card in honor of her cat, whose name is Harry. I'm going to use the Stamparatus on most of my cats tonight. And the reason I'm going to use my Stamparatus is because sometimes you want a really deep color on your stamps. And if you just stamp it and it's not dark enough, not intense enough, then you can't go back and stamp it again. It makes it really hard, okay? So here we go. This is our first card we're going to make tonight. It has the cat that's hanging on, something got on there, cat that's hanging on the wire. And I'm using the sentiment, I love hanging out with you. This opens up with a magnet like this and like this, like a little portfolio. Isn't that adorable? So let's get started. Lucy's cat is called Harry. And Harry is a gray cat. He is gray. So I'm going to take my piece of paper here. I'm going to start with stamping my cat. And this piece of white paper is 2 3/4 by 4. 2 3/4 by 4. Now I already got my cat on the Stamparatus. I put a sheet of grid paper down, and I already kind of stamped it once to give me an idea of where the cat will be hanging. So I'm going to put that right like this. I'm going to take my magnet and just move it up right like that to hold it down. Okay? Now, Lucy's cat, Harry, is a gray cat, dark gray charcoal cat. He is beautiful, and he is a mess. He is one that definitely would be hanging from the rafters. He's also very sneaky. He's one of those cats that hides under the covers, and then when you walk by, he will paw at you, right? So this is a great card for Lucy because it kind of fits Harry's personality. Okay, so I'm just lightly pushing. Now I'm going to tell you something else I did with this stamp. When I was using it for the first time, I kept getting the edges around the wire when I was trying to stamp with it, which drives me crazy. So I just took some papers, our detailed paper snips, and I just cut off the excess, and I haven't had a problem since. Now you can see right here, don't you wish that were just a little bit darker? So that's the cool thing about this Stamparatus, is that you can ink up again, and I'm just inking up the cat this time. And you can keep stamping and inking until you feel like you have the intensity that you want. That's pretty good, right, on your cat. So this time for this cat, I used gray granite because I wanted him to look a little more gray than black. Okay, so I'm going to pull him off, And we are done with that for right now. We're going to come back to the Stamparatus every time we do a cat tonight. So I have a piece of thick Whisper white cardstock. It is cut 10 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, 10 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is thick Whisper white. And then from each end, I scored it at 3 inches. So I scored it at 3 inches. You can use your cut and score or your score pal, whatever you want. And then I turned it around and I scored it at 3 inches again. So both ends are scored at 3 inches, okay? I'm gonna start by leaving it open, and I cut a piece of that Country Floral Lane DSP, probably my favorite in the new mini catalog, and I cut it 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I'm gonna flip it upside down because those hearts are going the wrong way. So I'm gonna just add some adhesive here to my corners. Stamp & Seal Plus is my go-to, unless I need a little wiggle room, and then I use liquid glue. Okay, so I'm gonna add this to the inside of my car, right like that. That's just gonna give a nice little balmy blue border around there. And then I'm gonna add a piece of basic white that is cut 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm just gonna add that. I just wanted a little bit of a colored border since it's so white on the inside. And I'm just going to add some adhesive and kind of equally set that down right there. So it just gives a little color to the inside. Okay, now I have 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, both from that Country Lane Designer Series paper. And I'm gonna use this stripe down here at the bottom of my panel. And it is cut, since this is 3 inches by 5 1/2, this is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And I have 2 of them, 2 different patterns that coordinate together. So this striped pattern, I'm gonna put down here on the bottom, right like that. And then this heart pattern, I tell you, balmy blue, I've used more balmy blue in the last couple of weeks than I've used in a very long time. And I think there's just a lot of papers in this catalog, this mini, that coordinate with balmy blue. I love balmy blue, but I found myself buying a lot of it this time because it's going quickly. Plus, I'm having my retreat this weekend where we're using this Country Lane floral paper and the Country Gingham, which has a lot of balmy blue in it. Okay, so there we go. There is really our card base put together. Okay, now I have cut one of the scalloped rectangle dies from the scalloped contour dies, and this one is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. Okay, I'm going to add this to my card front, but I'm only going to add it to the top here. Okay, so I only want adhesives right along the top of this rectangle, and I'm going to kind of center this here and press it down. Okay, now I know this is weird because usually we stamp right on that, right? But this time we have this beautiful textured shimmer paper. If you haven't gotten your hands on this yet, you need to order some of this. It's in the mini catalog and it comes in several colors. It has texture, but it also has shimmer. This is the balmy blue color. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add it to this top edge right there across the front. Okay, so I'm going to add some Seal Plus here. Oops, that didn't actually get on there. There we go. And I'm going to put it all the way across the length of my card, right butted up to that cut edge right there. Okay? If it goes over, and it does just by a tiniest little bit, you can just snip that off. Okay? Better to have it too long than not long enough. There we go. Now I'm taking my cat and I'm gonna pop it up right here over all of that, okay? Before I do that though, I'm gonna take my pale papaya blend, and this one is a light one, and I'm just gonna color in that little heart right there. And I'm gonna add some dimensionals. Hi everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm gonna add some dimensionals. I always add one to the center and a couple on the corners, one on each corner. That is typical how many dimensionals I add, unless it's a really big piece of paper, and then I might add more to the center. And I'm gonna peel off my dimensional backings, which you will find all over my house, and maybe even the yard if Buster's been following me. So there we go. There's my little cat hanging. Okay, and then I cut a circle from the Stylish Shapes, and this one is about 1 3/4 inch in diameter. I'm going to go back to that gray granite ink, and I'm going to stamp on my circle, I love hanging out with you, which is definitely true of Harry with Lucy. He hangs out in her bed. She has a bunk bed, and he hangs out in her bunk bed until she goes to bed at night, and then she kicks him out. I don't think she likes sleeping with Harry. Okay, so we're gonna put some adhesive and hang that going right there. I love hanging out with you. Now this definitely needs some embellishments, and I'm going to tell you about an oops that I had, is that I used these shimmer embellishments and then realized they were in the holiday mini catalog, and we don't have them anymore. So we are going with the polished dots, and I'm going to add these that look a little more like petal pink. Just the color. Is it petal pink? Did I say pale papaya? It's petal pink. Sorry guys, that color was petal pink. And I'm gonna add some of these polished dots. You know, any kind of embellishment will look beautiful on this card. And let me see, I'm gonna add another one up here. Add another one down here, and maybe one more little one down here with this on my label. There we go. So now the next thing I'm going to do is totally optional. I decided, you know, you're going to put this in an envelope and somebody's going to open it up and read your beautiful message. But sometimes I don't like when it pops up like that. I want them to be able to put it on a shelf or whatever and not worry about it popping up. So I bought some of these mini magnets on Amazon. If you search for card making magnets, you will find them. And I'm going to pull 2 of them off. You could also use vellum. Not vellum, I'm sorry, Velcro. You could also use some Velcro. So what I do is I'm gonna put a glue dot, I'm holding them together, they're both together. I'm putting a glue dot on one back end, and I'm gonna keep them together. I learned this the hard way. And I'm gonna add that magnet right there underneath my label. Now I'm gonna add a glue dot to the other side of the magnet, right here. Oops, pulled it right off there. Okay, so now the glue dot is on the other side of that magnet. I'm gonna push this whole thing down and press, and then look, it just magnetizes and holds it all together. That is my trick. I've seen people use Velcro, and Velcro works great as well. I just really love these little magnets. So that's card number 1. Do you love that? So that would be the first card in your kit, and you would make 2 of them. Okay. Next. This cat set is wearing on you. Does that mean you are you're getting ready to take the plunge, or you're tired of it, Alice? I don't know which one that means. I hope you're not tired of it. Okay, the next card is this one. It's like a cat sitting in a little windowsill almost, isn't it? And it says, "Hey there, Valentine." And I punch these little hearts using our new heart punch. And we're using a little mint macaron this time, okay? So here we go. I've got a piece of, oh, I know, Alice, you know, I feel that way a lot when I go to some stamping events and I'm like, oh, I don't need that. I'll go, I don't need that one. And then sure enough, I'm like you, it wears on me, and then I'm like, oh, I've seen so many cute cards from that set. I just realized I have a missing piece, so let me grab it out of my stash over here. I want a little piece for the inside of my card. I've cut some little strips here. Okay, there we go. Now I think I have everything that I need. Okay, so first I have a mint macaron card base that's cut 4 1/4 by 11 and scored down the middle at 5 1/2. So my finished card will be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, just like usual. Okay, I'm gonna first, before I do that, I'm gonna take this strip. This is cut 3/4 by 4. And I'm going to add it right there to the bottom of my card insert. My friends call this Judifying a card because I love to do this. I love to just have, almost put that on upside down, a little strip on the inside just to give some color to that plain white card base. There we go. And then I'm going to add this. Now, if you are part of my stamp club this week and you're coming to my house, these are the cards you're going to be making. So I hope I'm not blowing the surprise for you. But you'll get a little pre-class before you come to the class on Wednesday night. Okay, so there's my card base. I'm going to take that same DSP. This is the opposite side of that balmy blue that I put on the inside of the card. And I'm going to add this. This is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And I'm going to adhere that right onto my front right there. Okay, so now I have a piece of basic white, and I believe it was 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. No, by 3. So 3 3/4 by 3. And then I took this stylish shaped square and I laid it on. So it's about 1/4 inch around the top and the 2 sides and leaves you a larger border at the bottom. And I ran it through my die cutting machine and cut out that window. Okay, so this is going to end up going here on the front of my card. But before I do that, I'm going to stamp with Sweet Sorbet. That is the red that is in this designer series paper. And right in the bottom left corner, I'm going to stamp, "Hi there, Valentine." There we go. Cute. Now, believe it or not, we are almost done with this card. I'm going to take my Stamparatus, I'm going to take off this, and I'm going to put on my, just a plain piece of paper here, and I'm going to end up stamping this little cat right here on that because it's going to end up sitting in our windowsill. Okay, so I'm going to hold that down. I'm going to shut the Stamparatus plate on top of it, now that I have it where I want, and lift it up. I am going to stamp this in Memento Black, and I'm going to stamp it a few times until I get it the color that I want it to be. Okay, so I'm stamping, lifting. It's pretty good, isn't it? But I might do just a little bit more, just one more time for good measure. There we go, perfect. Okay, I'm going to pull that off and put this away for just a minute. I'm going to need it for my next card, but I don't need it for right now. So I'm going to clean that off really well with my chamois, and then I'm going to move it over here to the side for just a moment. So I'm going to take my paper snips, and I'm just going to cut around my cat here. I know some of you don't like to fussy cut. It does not bother me at all, to be honest. I find it therapeutic. I've learned that you turn the paper and don't focus too much on turning your scissors. This cat looks like Harry. It looks like it's up to mischief. It's just waiting for someone to come by. It's acting all, you know, stealth and like tired. And I'm just going to take a nap. I'm not going to pay much attention to you. And whammy, they'll jump out and grab you. I think cats are sassy. That's why I like them. So, you know, some people have said to me, I'm not really a cat person. Well, you know what? Cards aren't about you. Cards are about blessing the people that you have in your life, right? And so I'm sure you have people in your life that are cat people that would love to get one of these cards. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I am cutting that arm loose, okay? And then I'm actually going to leave a little bit of room here so that I can adhere this to my card just a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to cut around this tail. And we are almost good to go. All right. And I might actually, right here at the top of the tail, just cut a little bit more. So you know, if you get my online kit to go, I give you a PDF of all the instructions. I send you a kit that has everything in it. Look, so look, that little cat's gonna fit right there on my shelf, just like that. And it gives me a little bit of a lip back here. Do you see that? Where it overlaps just a little bit so that I can adhere that. And I'm going to use a little bit of tearing tape. Let's see if I can put my hands on mine right here. Here it is. And hold that down with tearing tape. Oh, Sue said the cats were the first thing she bought. I can't say that. I think the Country Lane suite was, and the Desert suite. I haven't even done anything with the Desert suite yet, but I will. Were the first two things okay, so there's my cat sitting on the shelf. So cute, right? Now I'm going to adhere this to my card front, and I'm going to put dimensionals, okay? So I'm going to add some larger size dimensionals, and I would say over dimensionalize this a little bit. So I'm going to put 4 down here, at least 4, maybe 5 down here at the bottom. Okay, and then along the edge here, I'm going to use some minis. especially in the corners, right? And I would say use several along the edges. Now, what would be really good with this too is, you know, these little edges on these bigger ones? If you snip that and pull that edge off, look, that will fit right there. Then you don't have to worry about the sagging, right? So let me do that one more time up here at the top, and add another little strip right there. That is a lot of dimensionals, right? But you don't want this frame sagging for sure. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take off all of these pieces. So what'd you guys do this weekend that was fun? I had a crazy fun, busy weekend. Jim and I had a date night. Those of you who are friends with me on my personal Facebook page, we went to see the movie A Man Called Otto. It's a beautiful film. It's sad. It's definitely would probably have some triggers for people that have had traumatic family situations. But it really is a beautiful movie about hope and love, and how people loving you can just help you overcome a lot of heartache in your life. And so I just found it very hopeful. Okay, so I'm going to add this frame now. Oh, you know what? I might add one to the back of my cat right there. Don't you think I should? I don't want my cat sagging into the window either. Okay, there we go. That started to happen, and I was like, don't want that to happen. Okay, so there's my cat right there, all popped up and beautiful. Now, the only other thing I need to do, did any of you, have any of you seen A Man Called Otto yet? It's Tom Hanks. And he befriends a Hispanic family, or they befriend him, I should say, that moved into his apartment complex. And it's really about how these people changed his life. It's a lovely film. I would highly recommend it. Unless you've had a lot of, I would say unless you've had a lot of family trauma with suicide, and then I don't know if I would recommend it. I think it could be, the school counselor in me is saying that it might be hard, but also it might be therapeutic. So you would have to judge that yourself. Okay, so the first, I cut 3 of those little hearts. I'm just sitting here talking from our new heart punch, Country Lane heart punch. Okay, and I'm just focusing on that little heart that's at the bottom, and I'm putting a mini dimensional, and I'm just going to set those along here, the edges of my frame. So anyway, I thought it was lovely. I would recommend it for sure. And then this one, I'm going to flip it around so it goes the other way. And this time I'm going to put my dimensional on my frame and set my heart on top of it. There we go. And then, I don't know if you guys have noticed this. This is in the actual regular catalog, and these are called heart pearls. I think I might have overlooked them if someone hadn't pointed them out to me. But there are some that are more milky and some that are more iridescent. They're really, and some that are more clear, okay? We're going to use the pearly ones here, and I am going to just set those right on top of these other hearts. They come in 2 sizes, and they're just perfect for this, I think. Doesn't that add like a really nice touch to have those little white pearls on there? So there is card number 2, the cat in the windowsill saying, "Hey there, Valentine." And so it opens like that. So that is card number 2. If you like it, give me some love. I would love it again if you would share my videos with your friends. I also post this video on YouTube when I'm done. And I could use some subscribers. So if you are good about subscribing to people's videos on YouTube, I would love to have you subscribe to my video. Okay, so this is my last card, Head Over Heels. This is the cat that's got the little heart like tied around its tail, and it's upside down playing with the little heart there. It says head over heels about you, and then the inside has that fun little cat sitting on the bottom of the card right there, like thinking about love. Okay, so here we go, another super easy card to put together. You're gonna need a piece of balmy blue that's 4 1/4 by 11. Chelsea, you're going to make these cards Wednesday night, so I hope I'm not spoiling them for you. 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5 1/2. Then you need 2 pieces of basic black. Well, you need 3. You need 3. But you need 2 that are cut the same, 4 by 5 1/4. And then you need another one that is cut. Let me remind myself here. 3 1/8 by 3 5/8. All the measurements will be in the PDF when you place your online order with me. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these black pieces and I'm going to adhere this balmy blue gingham check paper to the front. Now this is 4 by 5 1/4. The balmy blue paper is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, and you could use that red side for sure. There wouldn't be anything wrong with using that. We're going to put the red hearts on this one. Okay, so I'm going to get this really close to my edges here and set that down. That might have been a good piece to put on with liquid glue, but it turned out just fine. And then I have this other panel, the black, I think I told you already, is 3 1/8 by 3 3/4. And then my DSP here is 3 inches by 3 5/8 inches, okay? And it's this red with the white hearts. It's in that Country Floral Lane paper. If you haven't bought this paper yet, it's a great, great, great package of paper. Whoop. And I'm going to add the DSP here just to the edge to give it a little black edge right there. Awesome. Now this is going to go flat. And this time, instead of centering it, we're going to move it to the edge. So there's about 3/4 of an inch all the way around it. And I am just going to adhere this flat to that other card panel, right to that edge right there. So it's all even and short up. Okay. Now this entire panel is going to pop up here on the front of my card, okay, on that balmy blue card base. And I'm going to use dimensionals. Thanks, Chels. I am loving balmy blue too. I was just talking about that. And we're using a lot of it during celebration because of a lot of our papers coordinate with this balmy blue cardstock, which is fun. Okay, so peel all those off. I'm going to pop this up on the front of my card. Then I'm going to show you a little trick with my Stamparatus. One that you've probably seen before, but it's always good to have that reminder. All right, so I've got that all popped up. I'm going to pop this right here on the front of my card, and I'm going to set that aside for just a second. I'm going to go ahead and work on stamping my cats. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp that black cat, let's flip that over, on the bottom of this white panel that is cut 3 3/4 by 5. And this time I'm going to put my magnet up there in the top left corner. And I'm just going to arrange this, I want to make sure it's super clean. It looks pretty good. Right here on the bottom edge of my card, because I want that cat just to be peeking from the bottom. I'm going to ink him up. I don't really have to worry about too much of the tail because I don't think it's gonna, but I do have to worry about those hearts. So let me make sure I got that really good. There we go. And remember, if I don't like it, I can always stamp it again. You know, not so bad. I might add just a little bit darker black. So the movie was great Friday night, and then Saturday morning I had breakfast with some girlfriends, and then we all went to get our toes done together. We had a little pedicure time, girl pedicure time, which was super fun. Okay, so that one little heart that's right there, I'm taking my light sweet sorbet, and I'm just going to color it in with the bullet tip end of my blends. I could also use a marker for this. I just happen to have my blends out, so that bode well in my favor. Okay, I'm going to get my chamois and take this off, clean it up good. There we go. And then pull it off so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Next thing I'm going to do is take my circle, stitched circle. This stitched circle is 2.5 inches, and this is actually the piece of the basic white that I cut the circles out of. You can see I cut a whole bunch. So I just adhered it to one of my grid papers that fit in my Stamparatus here. I'm going to put my grid paper right there on the bottom, and I'm going to put my circle right in that space right there. Now I am going to put the magnet right here just to hold everything flat. So I'm just inserting my circle that I've already cut, and this is great if you have a whole bunch to do and you want to have the cat in the same place on all of them. This is what I'm going to do with my class on Wednesday night. They're just going to pop their circles right in there. Then we're not waiting for everyone, right, to try to use the die cutting machine. I'm going to put my cat on there like that. Pop it up. And then add my black to my cat, to my upside down cat. Press. And it looks pretty good, but why not do it one more time since we have the Stamparatus here. There we go, beautiful. Look how dark and deep the color is on that cat. That is one of the main things I use the Stamparatus for. Okay, I'm gonna push this off to the side, and we are almost done. I'm gonna take this panel and adhere it to that black that I'm going to put on the inside. That's just going to add a little border around the edge of my inside piece here. Kind of distinguish it and kind of makes it look more coordinated with the front of the card, I think. Let's add this to the inside. You guys love this one? This one's just fun. He's just cute and fun. There we go. Okay, this little kitty is gonna just set right there in the middle of that panel, but before that I am gonna add my sweet sorbet and color the heart here. It's gonna go flat right on this panel, right like that. And then I have two pieces, if I'm lucky, maybe they're still in here. No disasters yet today, right? We're doing good. I have 2 pieces of for my panel for my sentiment. The white is cut 3/4 by 2 3/4, and my black is 1 inch by 2 7/8. Okay, I'm gonna stamp on my white piece head over heels about you, and I'm gonna stamp it in balmy blue. Beautiful. I'm gonna add that piece to the black piece. Little bit of a border around the whole edge. And this time, I am gonna add some dots to the front. And let me see if I'm lucky enough to find them. I thought I had all my dots right here. We are using those opaque dots that we used last week. Oh, here they are. They're in my little box of all my things. Okay. And I'm just going to add a few to the front of my panel here. A larger one down in this corner. These are those opaque adhesive backed gems. A medium-sized one over here in that corner, and then an itty-bitty one right here. And then we're gonna pop this whole thing up. Chelsea, this card class Wednesday night is in your honor because you're the hostess of the month. So, and I know how much you and your mom love cats. So this is in your honor as hostess of the month this month. And we're just gonna pop that right there. How cute is that? So if you purchase from me in my online store, $35 or more, I will send you the kit of all the pieces to make this many of these Love Cats cards. Aren't they fun? Did you guys love that tonight? I hope you did on the tags for Valentine's. Oh, fun! Those are so fun. And they are beautiful, and all the embellishments are beautiful. I'm loving them from this month for sure. So let me pull everything up and back around and get me stopped from being upside down. There I am. Thank you all so, so much. I can't tell you, I'm just overwhelmed by your grace and generosity of watching my Facebook Lives and sharing them with your friends and watching my YouTubes. It really means a lot to me. This week's hostess code is capital P, capital E, 66, capital J, capital 7, N, capital B, capital, okay? PE66 J7NB. If you make a $35 or more order in my online store, you can get this card kit sent to you for free. A $50 order will get you an additional set of stuff to make this cute little desk calendar, and you'll get to pick something out of the celebration catalog. So God bless everyone. I will see you back here next Monday night, and I hope you have a beautiful week of blessing others. Bye-bye.